I'm Alex Makovica reporting on the Rural Radio Network. We're joined today by three students at the University of Nebraska-Lincoln who have an immersive experience to help them grow in the area of animal science. Our guests today are McKenna Carr, Sarah Dilley, and Breanna Gilmore. McKenna, let's kick off this conversation with you. Tell us more about this environment that you are living, working, and learning in.
Yeah, so I live in the animal science building. So I work here. I also go to class here and live here. It's really a community. It's like family living here. It's super great to work with all of these people, but also getting to live here just creates like a really connected environment to everybody that works here.
So Sarah, day in and day out, you obviously live in the animal science complex where you also have classes and do work. What does a day look like for you?
Yeah, it definitely depends on the day, which is one of the beauties of being a student worker is every day is different. But I guess typically on a day-to-day basis, we start the morning with chores. So depending on what livestock we have in the building, that can include anything from washing pens, feeding cattle, taking care of the sheep and the goats or the hogs. And then from there, it really, again, depends on the day. But sometimes, we'll do things from hauling manure to going and picking up hay, just different things around the facility that need done to get accomplished. A lot of times we're setting things up for classroom work, helping put events on that involve the livestock. So a lot of just hands-on stuff that presents itself differently every day, which is really fun.
Breanna, what's been the most challenging part of balancing those responsibilities with also just being a college student?
That's a really good question. I think it's beneficial that, as an animal science major, what I'm doing also kind of goes hand in hand with what I'm learning. And so for me, I guess there's not really a challenge between balancing it, just making sure that, you schedule your work hours and, chores and stuff around your classes. So you're still doing school, still making time for studying while also getting stuff done around the building. Just communicating with our bosses and people who are in charge of what we are doing. It's also a crucial aspect also. But
McKenna, when you reflect on this experience, first of all, how long, have you guys been doing this? Is it just the semester?
So I have worked for the university in some capacity for 3 years. I've worked for UNL cow-calf. I've worked for ruminant nutrition and then also animal science. I've only lived in the building for this semester, though.
Okay, gotcha. So when you reflect on, all of your time so far, what has been the most surprising part about what you've learned?
Well, not coming from agriculture originally, I have learned everything here. I think my biggest thing that I've learned is that what really makes this job worth it and makes me want to get up and do this every single day is the community that we've built here. I truly have some of the greatest bosses at the Animal Science Building, and working for them has just been so fun, and they're so flexible and understanding with being a student, and I've learned a lot about building a community in addition to just gaining all kinds of skills for agriculture.
Wonderful. Okay, Sarah, the question that comes to my mind is you could probably get an experience like this in a lot of places. So why? What do you hope to get out of this?
For me and in my situation, I've kind of been involved here since my freshman year, so it's been about 4 years. Really, my goal was just to immerse myself as much as I could into the livestock industry. Similar to McKenna, I didn't come from a super heavy agriculture background, and so I knew that if I wanted to stay involved in that with a career, I was going to have to find a way to do it through college, and so that was kind of my goal coming in. But really, being a student worker and then also living in the building, I think, like McKenna said earlier, it's just created a really strong community, and we all really care about this building and the department and what goes on. And so it's a cool opportunity to be able to play a strong role, kind of behind the scenes in what happens, but also be able to kind of take pride in that as a student and everything that we're doing every day. So I guess that would kind of be what I enjoy getting out of it. And then along with that, just everything that I've learned being here as a student. So
awesome. Breanna, I'll ask each of you about your future plans and what you hope to do. But I guess before we get to that point, is there anything else that has come up in your mind that's important to add on this conversation?
Honestly, I think that Sarah and McKenna did a really good job of talking about how like the community is so important. Like it wouldn't be what it is without the people that we work with, and it just really goes to show it's not what you know, it's who you know, and then who you know helps you learn what you know. So I don't know. I think it's really cool. I've worked in all sorts of aspects of this building, from research to even living here and working with the basic maintenance. So it's just been really cool to kind of see everything tie together. So yeah.
Okay, McKenna, let's start with you then on this. Tell me about what specifically you're studying in animal science and what you hope to do.
Yeah, so my major is animal science with a focus in livestock production and a minor in ag economics. And after I graduate here in December, I have been accepted to grad school at Texas Tech University for ranch management.
Wonderful. Okay, Sarah, what about you? Tell me about what you're studying and what your future plans look like.
Sure. So I'm also an animal science major, and then I have a minor in the Kretzinger Beef Industry Scholars Program. So I will be graduating in December as well. And moving forward, right now I'm kind of thinking about maybe having a position here with the university out at the NREC facility in Meade, working with one of their cow-calf herds. Otherwise, if other options come up, I just really want to stay involved in the beef industry, the livestock industry as a whole, in a hands-on aspect. I really enjoy the production element of it. And so really excited to kind of see where that takes me as I graduate.
Wonderful. Last but certainly not least, Breanna, this question for you as well. Tell me more about your animal science degree specifically and what the future could hold.
Yeah, so that's a really good question. My animal science degree is in livestock production and management, so kind of pretty broad. I don't really have a specific species I want to work in. I kind of like beef, kind of like dairy, kind of like hogs. I don't know where quite exactly I'm going, but I know for sure that I'm seeking something in research, some research capacity, but also having an effect on the industry. So I've looked into places like US Mark, and there's a couple of heifer development facilities around the state that I've thought about considering also.
Our three guests today were McKenna Carr, Sarah Dilley, and Breanna Gilmore, all three animal science students at the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, who are also right now living in the animal science complex. From inside the Nebraska Soybean Board studios, which are brought to you by Nebraska soybean farmers and their checkoff, I'm Alex Makovica reporting on the Rural Radio Network.